Hey. Alrighty. We are on day three of recharge and take charge. Day three. So day one, we looked at our goals, just overall looking at the big goals, the 2003 that we still have, and breaking them down into smaller pieces so that we can actually get clear and get those goals achieved. That was day one. Day two. Day two, we looked at energy. This is also about energizing and empowering. So we looked at energy yesterday, different ways that you can elevate energy, some resources to help you with that. And today, I want to really look at what holds you back. Now, I think I mentioned already, I'm not a big one. I'm really not a big one for giving energy to what holds us back or giving energy to obstacles. But sometimes it's good to know what it is that we need to kind of remove, what we're working with, what is holding us back, what those obstacles are, so that we can not give them too much attention, but give them enough to just really move forward. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to look a little bit at obstacles, just really identifying what holds us back and how we can just move forward, really, how we can kind of shift that energy up and move forward. So let's start by just taking a breath. You can use Ephraim balance. So bring your right hand to your heart center, left hand to your sacral chakra. And just get really focused. And just taking a deep breath. Release your hands. Just open your eyes when you're ready. Alrighty. So we're just literally going to take some time to look at what are some of the things that hold you back. What are some of the things? So as I was thinking about it, I literally just wrote obstacle and made some notes. So these are the things that I want to share with you. And you probably know, we probably already have some awareness of what we let get in the way. So we're working now energy-wise with solar plex and sacral chakra. So it's really a combination between the two. So sacral chakra is that kind of sense of self and kind of really being connected with who we are, being connected with our purpose, being connected with that sense of self with the capital S. And then the solar plex is fire energy. So if we're going to get anything done, we're going to achieve our goals, we're going to get clarity, then that's all to do with the fire fire energy and the solar plex, and really putting that energy out. Hi there. Really pushing that energy forward. That is solar plexus. It's fire. Now we call this the seat of opposites. At least that's what I call it, because this is the place where we can have a kind of inner conflict, and our obstacles relate to that inner conflict, that small voice within that is sometimes, well, let's just be clear, that is sometimes lying to us. You know, sometimes you tell yourself a whole heap of lies. So lies is definitely gonna hold us back. So let's just go through there. So the first one is overwhelm. So just having too many plates spinning and a lack of clarity. So when we're in kind of overwhelm like that, we need to identify what is the one thing that I want to work with now. So overwhelmed, just doing too many different things, you know, whether that is taking care of a family, whether that is trying to do your business. If you're a practitioner of some kind, like you're a yoga teacher, a therapist, a coach, there's that side of it. And then there's also what I call the kind of marketing job. So sometimes we have another part that we also need to do in order for us to be able to do the work that we actually love. So overwhelm can be a big kind of aspect, big, that actually holds us back. So we need to come out of overwhelm. BS. Belief systems. What is going on in the mind can also hold us back. All of the things that we say to ourselves. On the coaching program, we really look at life scripts. We work with all of those scripts that hold us back, the things that we say to ourselves, and lies. So our belief systems, a biggie in terms of what stops us from really achieving our goals. So overwhelm, BS, belief systems, feeling stuck. So again, it's often mindset. It's often about what we're saying to ourselves that will keep us stuck. Going round and round and round in circles because we're not getting the help that we need will also keep us stuck. So I don't know how you feel. You might experience that, you know, kind of treading water or taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Let me know in the comments if you ever feel like that you're kind of stagnant, stuck. Sometimes that's to do with having the information, having the knowledge, having the skills that you need. So we want to look at that. T, this is a biggie, and this is also part of the lies. Often what holds us back are a whole heap of things that are not really true. So one of the things that people will often say is, I don't have the time. Don't have the time. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because time-wise, we all have the same amount of time. So we've all got, if I'm correct, 1,440 minutes in each day. All of us. So you can be super creative, super effective, do a whole heap of things in that time if you have it organized well. And I think organizing it well is about energy. We're back to energy. So overwhelm, BS, being stuck, time, the I. This is all the things that we can say to ourselves. I've already invested. So invested in training, invested in materials, invested in different things that you need for your business. And you may still need something else. But at that stage, you're like, oh no, I've already invested in that one thing that will tip you over. I always say, don't give up on the brink of a miracle. When we get to that one thing that will take us to the next level, it's then that we decide, oh, you know, I already invested too much. So we need to be really clear about what will give us the most kind of leverage, what will move us the most. So these are the obstacles to really, for the people in here who are yoga teachers, therapists, healers, all of those kinds of ways that we work in the world. This is not so much for your own well-being, so I touched on that more yesterday. But today I'm thinking about people who have a lifestyle business, but maybe that business is not doing as well as you want it to. These are some of the things that may be holding you back. The C, clarity. Clarity, confidence, having a clear vision. Having clarity is one part of it, but also knowing how to really implement on what it is that we know we need to do is another part of this. So clarity and kind of confidence, really, really, really important. And if we don't have sufficient of either one, then we're going to be in S. We're going to be stuck. This one now, the L, which is around limitations, but it's also around that mindset. Sometimes we're in that mindset of lack, not having enough of, or feeling that we don't have enough of. And it's not necessarily true, but sometimes we feel that way. So when we're thinking about obstacles, and there are a lot of them, there can be a lot, I don't want us energy-wise to get stuck on the obstacles. The way I think about it is transcend and include. That means have the awareness of the different obstacles that might be holding you back, so that you can kind of look them square in the face and acknowledge sometimes the thinking processes, acknowledge the lies, acknowledge what's going on in the mind, but still transcend, still go beyond that. So we don't want to deny the kind of obstacles that we have, but at the same time, we don't want to be in a kind of stronghold with the obstacles. So that lack mindset, we definitely want to transcend, and well, we can acknowledge that we may have that. And the E is energy, and I spoke a whole lot about energy yesterday, so I'm not going to go over that today. But obviously, if you do not have, you're feeling kind of fatigued, low in energy, tired, you're not going to get things done. So if that is you, definitely make sure that you listen to day 2 and you get your energy elevated, because that is really important. And the S, the S is the shoulding on yourself. So rather than looking at what you could do, rather than looking at what you can do, rather than looking what you have done, it is all kind of, I should do this, I should have done that, I should have, all of that kind of energy that's not motivational. It doesn't move us forward, doesn't lift us up. It's a kind of energy that it's tomorrow will do kind of energy. So these are the obstacles. These are some of the obstacles that can hold us back. Let me go over it again. Overwhelm. Get clear. Overwhelm. The BS, belief systems, feeling stuck and just kind of, treading water, claiming not to have enough time. There's always time. We just need to manage it better. We need to get clear on our priorities. Are you a priority for you? Is your purpose a priority for you? So these are the things. Already invested. So we're kind of thinking that we don't want to take those last steps that we really need, that will give us the most leverage, give us a big kind of rise from the small part that we need to still do at the end. Clarity, confidence, shifting the mentality of lack over to one of abundance and enoughness, knowing that, you know, there is a place for you. There is a place for what you're called to do in this world and at this time. So we need to get clear just how to do that, rather than having that mentality of kind of lack or not enoughness. Energy, being re-energized, that's what we're doing right here. And shooting, stop shooting on yourself. So there's some of the obstacles, there's some of the things. So what we want to really do is elevate confidence and clarity. This is really popular. This is really popular. Imposter syndrome. I don't know, maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago, nobody had imposter syndrome. Now everybody has imposter syndrome. So we've heard that kind of terminology, language, and we're like, So think about that. Really think about that. You know, before you own and claim imposter syndrome, really think about, does that actually belong to you? Because I know for myself, no. Imposter syndrome, no, I don't need to pick that up. I don't have to pick that up. You don't have to pick it up. So think about that. Think about whether that is your portion or whether that is something that, because we're hearing it, you know, we're claiming things that actually don't belong to us. So my take on imposter syndrome is a real simple one. Real simple one. Real simple one. My take on imposter syndrome is, if you are living on purpose, your purpose, if you're living with passion, if you're doing what you've been called to do, if you're doing what you're ordained to do, you cannot have imposter syndrome. You can't be imposting. You cannot be an imposter. But if you're doing something that is someone else's purpose, if you're doing something that you're not called to do, well then, I don't know, maybe that's when the whole imposter syndrome comes in. But what I do know for sure, to quote Oprah, is if you are on purpose in your life, doing what you're called to do, doing what you came to do, doing what only you can do, then there's no place for imposter syndrome. So that is something that we want to transcend. Not sure about the include part on there. The last things I want to mention that hold us back is also kind of isolation, trying to do everything alone. And I think that as coaches, therapists, yoga teachers, there's a tendency to do that, to not get the help that we actually need. I think some people will find it difficult to ask for help. I've got to hold my hand up. I'm guilty of that quite a lot as well, not asking for help. But when it comes to actually building my business or working in that aspect, I will get mentors, coaches, training, everything that I need to actually work with the business. That is an area that asking for help is not so difficult, because we need help in those areas. So I think that is really important, to ask for help and to not feel kind of isolated, to not do everything by yourself, to not be alone in this. So that is a whole heap of obstacles and things. You may identify with some of those. Some of them might be, no, that's not me. And some of them, you might really be time for you to do what I'm saying, which is transcend and include. To acknowledge, to see, to give thanks for. They brought you to this place, and release. And release. And really think about elevating your clarity, elevating your confidence, releasing imposter syndrome, getting the support that you need, and coming out of isolation. So there are lots of different ways that I support people to move forward with both the lifestyle and the business. Being on purpose, essentially. That's what I love. Being on purpose, working with your passion, your unique passion, working with the people that you're called to work with, and doing that in a way that is in alignment for you. And so I do have a mentoring program that is coming up. I'm going to talk a little bit more about mentoring in general tomorrow. So this was day 3. These are all the obstacles. These are all the things that we want to transcend, include, get rid of, and get to the next place, so that we can really be on purpose. We can really do what it is that we came here to do. We can have fun doing that. We can enjoy. Alrighty, so I'm going to come to the end of day 3. If you haven't listened, alright, if you haven't listened to day 1 and day 2 yet, then they're going to stay in here. Day 1 is not going to stay for so long because I didn't save it in the way that it needs saving. And if you haven't listened to day 2, just to see how I begin it and end it is definitely worth it, because that was not working well. Alrighty, day 3, obstacles. Recharge, take charge. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to do live at 5. We're going to look at mentoring, the importance of getting the help that you need. I'm Shola, and I'm here to help you get your energy back and your life on track. We are live at 5 all week. Now, this is what happened yesterday. Let me see if I can do it better today. Bye.